right, y'all. What's back, man? Welcome back. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Darrel Long channel, hosted by your boy Darrel Long. Um, Listen, if you guys don't know why I'm here to call out Megyn Kelly for being a liar. I'm here to call out Megyn Kelly for being a dishonest reporter and for using the death of a 17-year-old boy to continue to spew her racist, misogynistic thoughts, right? Her superiority, Nazi-like thoughts. And I don't want to have a conversation with her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her people to email me. I don't want nothing from Megyn Kelly because she is a racist, ugly individual. But let's go directly into the video.
This young black teenager who goes to a track meet at another school and bumps into a young white teenager.
First lie, Carmelo was scheduled to run that day. So y'all can stop with the lies. It came out in court. Carmelo was there because he was scheduled to run.
Teenager named Austin Metcalf. There were something like between 9 and 12 schools on site for this big track.
Austin Metcalf was a bully. He was a racist, just like his father.
Meet. And Carmelo Anthony, for one reason or another, it's still not clear to me what the reason was, winds up under the tent.
Carmelo Anthony winds up under the tent because there was a thunderstorm. There was a thunderstorm, and the thunderstorm was bad. And you know it was bad because if you go back to watch Hunter Metcalf, he talks about how it was raining bad and it was very bad thunderstorm. So you're trying to say, I don't know why they were under the tent. Hunter Metcalf said why they were under the tent. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You want to weaponize his dead brother so that you can get views and clicks and spread your racist hate. But at the end of the day, Hunter Metcalf, right? The worst twin, he already talked about what happened and why everybody was underneath the tents.
That where the Austin Metcalf school was hanging. And someone told him to leave. Certainly at some point, Austin said, leave. And he had a bag and he allegedly said to Austin, make me. And
he never told Austin to make me leave. He said, touch me and find out. He never said, make me leave. He said, touch me and find out.
Grab the bag. And Austin did place hands on him, allegedly.
No, it's not alleged. You see how you can lie on Carmelo, but then you want to tell the truth and then make it seem like motherfucking you want to lie and spin the truth and make it seem like he didn't allegedly put his hands on. Everybody in the courtroom said that he put his hands on Carmelo first. And this is why the little boy is dead now. This is why people don't feel sorry for the boy now. This is why, because his father is a racist, his supporters are racist, and he was a false bully that couldn't handle himself when the time came to defend himself, which is why he is no longer with us. He is up there hanging out with Charlie Kirk.
The bag. And Austin did place hands on him, allegedly, in some way to remove him. And he pulled.
You don't get to put your hands on somebody, even if you're trying to remove them. That's not what you get to do. You don't get to put your hands on somebody, even if you're trying to remove them.
Got a knife and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart, killing him within minutes. He didn't even live to the hospital.
Wrong. We got autopsy report allegedly saying that Austin Metcalf was breathing and living up until the time he actually got to the hospital. Even in the interview on the Jinx Sit podcast with Jeff Metcalf, they told the father, Jeff Metcalf, that his son was breathing and alive, but that he needed to be transferred to the hospital. And it was there, not on the scene, but there at the hospital where Austin Metcalf was pronounced dead. Some are even going to say that Carmelo didn't even really kill the boy, but the doctors just failed to save him. The doctors just failed to save him. And you want to know why? The whole time that he was there bleeding, right? Austin Metcalf bleeding out. Instead of people trying to help him, they was too busy trying to capture Carmelo. So he bleeding out and they still chasing the black boy. Literally. You literally can't make this shit up.
He died in the arms of his identical twin. He was a football star.
He died in the arms of his twin because after he tried to bully somebody and was fatally stabbed, nobody wanted to go around and put their hands on somebody who just been stabbed. They're bleeding, etc., especially children. Other children don't want to touch somebody who is bleeding from his chest. They don't want that, bro. Believe it or not. It was a traumatic situation because Austin allowed his emotions to get the best of him. Austin Metcalf is the reason why he is dead. Austin Metcalf, Hunter Metcalf, Megyn, whatever her last name is, because she's not a Metcalf, and Jeff. They are all the reasons why their son is no longer with us. The same way Charlie Kirk's parents is the reason why he is no longer with us, because they failed to teach him the importance of not being a racist. They failed to teach him the importance of not seeing everybody who is not white as a problem, or who is not Christian as a problem. Listen, Charlie Kirk's parents failed him when they allowed him to go outside continuously to be racist, and even be racist to not be racist, but to be classist to other white males, to the point where some white dude wanted to take him out. Some white dude wanted to take him out. And that white dude, Carmelo Anthony, is getting more negative energy from white people than the white man who actually shot Charlie Kirk. The white man who actually shot Charlie Kirk, they don't even talk about him no more. They tried to make it seem like he was a potential mental health patient and all the rest of this shit. Well, let's keep going, bro. I don't got too much time.
On his way to college, he had his entire life in front of him, and it was...
Carmelo was on his way to college. Carmelo had his whole life in front of him as well. Please stop.
Snuffed out in an incredibly stupid, pointless instant. And now
I agree. Walking up to somebody while it's a thunderstorm and it's raining and trying to physically get them to move is stupid. So that's the one thing I will agree with Megyn Kelly on. Trying to get someone to move and you have no legal right to put your hands on them is stupid. And people find out what happened when they do shit like that. Yeah. People find out why you shouldn't put your hands on people. You see, white people have no problem when when a cop shoots somebody. The first thing they're going to say is, why you put your hands on that cop? That cop, somebody was walking close up to him and he felt threatened for his life. They didn't put their hands on him or nothing. They just got in his proximity, so he shot him. Bro, you can't make this shit up. So at the end of the day, I don't feel bad for Austin Metcalf. I don't feel bad for Jeff Metcalf. I don't feel bad for Hunter Metcalf. I don't feel bad for Megyn. In my opinion, Austin Metcalf got what he deserved because he wanted to be a bully. In my opinion. That's just the facts. In my opinion, Jeff Metcalf got his karma for being a racist. In my opinion.
Are picking a jury in Texas, Phil, and it appears pretty clear from what little we've heard from the defense team for Carmelo Anthony that they are going to argue this was self-defense. Presumably because Austin Metcalf did apparently, we believe as of today, lay hands on Carmelo Anthony after Carmelo told him, "Make me." Your
Yeah,
thoughts?
well, the defendant in this case started setting up his defense pretty much immediately because the police reports quote him as saying things like, quote, "I was protecting myself." And he said, quote, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." So, yeah, he's setting up for some type of a justification or self-defense type of defense to the crime. But here's the problem for him. You can't be the person who instigates any type of a.
No, that's how y'all gonna spin it, bro. He didn't instigate anything. Y'all just literally said he didn't do anything but say something to this young boy. The young boy then allegedly put his hands on Carmelo. Allegedly put his hands on Carmelo. That means that he was the aggressor. Austin Metcalf was the aggressor. And the real problem is this. Y'all hate to see white boys take that dirt nap. Y'all hate to see them white boys take that dirt nap. It's okay when police officers gun down Trayvon Martin. It's okay when police officers sit on Derek. When Derek Chauvin sat on George Floyd's neck. All of that's perfectly fine. But when one of y'all get dropped by one of ours, now y'all got problems. Now y'all want to cry like victims. Now Jeff Metcalf is showing his true colors and being a fucking racist. Had no problem when Rick Chow gunned down 14-year-old Cyrus Belton, but now got a problem when y'all boy get chopped up into little pieces. You got a problem with it. And that's what I have a problem with. Let's keep going.
Altercation, or you can't provoke this type of confrontation and then legally or properly avail yourself of self-defense. You can defend yourself clearly if someone wrongfully puts their hands on you, but you're not allowed.
No, white people and black men who shuck and jive for white people like the Andre dude, those are the kind of people that white people would say, oh yeah, you know what? This black guy, he harmed him. So you know what? It's okay because he's one of us. This black guy right here, he's one of us. As long as you shuck and jive for them, you're gonna have a place in their society.
Out to just use more force than is necessary anyway. But I do think that going back to what I believe are the facts of this case that show that Carmelo Anthony was the person who started this whole thing, I don't think he's legally going to be able to prevail on a claim of self-defense. If
that's because he's in Texas, where he's surrounded by racists, people like yourself, sir, people like Megyn Kelly, people like Will Kane. It's because he's in Texas, surrounded by racists. That's the reason why he wasn't able to beat this case. And I tried to tell people a long time ago, white people, especially the ones who really wanted to keep slavery going, those people in the South, white people really are some of the most evil people on the planet, right? Some of the most racist people on the planet, because they can see a situation like George Zimmerman walk down a kid and they have no problem with trying to make it seem like George Zimmerman was innocent and trying to find some loophole for him to skate on. They never, ever be on some, you know what? We're going to just keep it 100. The white boy was wrong, bro. Fuck it. He was wrong. He pushed Carmelo. He didn't have a legal right to put his hands on a boy. And we're going to just uphold. We're going to uphold. We're going to uphold the law. We're going to uphold the morality behind the law of stand your ground. We're going to let it be known that no matter what color you are, you can't just put your hands on people. But nope. They can't do that, bro. They can't do that at all, bro. You wanna know why? They can't do it because if I'm really being honest, they just hate black people. They really, some of these people just hate black people, bro. Anyway, man. Let me keep going.
If we have a fair jury, and of course that's something I know we're going to talk about, because you've got people outside the courthouse now that are protesting in favor of both sides, and you've got to wonder, is this a case where you're going to have a jury that is pure and that can reach a proper decision?
Well,
when you don't have a jury with, like, when you have a jury full of all white people, no black people, everybody knew what the outcome was going to be. All of us black folks knew exactly what the outcome was going to be. All of us black folks knew exactly what the outcome was going to be. Period. I've been saying it since he got the trial. Yep, he about to go to jail. I thought they was gonna get a boy life. Personally, I personally thought they was gonna get that boy life. So yeah, I never had any hopes in y'all. I don't put no hope in white people. I know how y'all get down. I know that when it comes time to lock a nigga up, that's exactly what y'all gonna do. Every opportunity y'all have. And here's another thing that they don't talk about. Every black man that they lock up is another black man and just person in slavery, because now they have the ability to go and make license plates in jail and do all this shit and be on some labor shit, working for free. We gotta stop, bro. They love that shit. They love having people in jail making tires and shit for free. It's crazy, bro.
the particular jurisdiction where this is going to be held, Collin County, 2024 election results, interestingly, went 54% for Trump, 43% for Harris. It's 54% white. It's 0.7% black.
The city that Carmelo lives in is 0.7% black. They wasn't trying to find nobody black. The very few black people that was there, they said you can't be on the case. They was trying to convict this young boy, and you have media pundits like Megyn Kelly, who is simply going to shuck and jive for Donald Trump, shuck and jive for the Republican Party, and shuck and jive for her white race. All three of y'all should be ashamed.
15% Hispanic or Latino, 18% Indian, it says. I don't know if they mean Asian or American, but it's predominantly white. And so, you know, you're probably going to have a jury that reflects that general makeup.
No, 600 people. Nice try, Megan. 600 people were brought in for jury selection. Grab a chair. 600 people were brought in to be jurors, right? For jury selection. I think they said over 200 of them were black people, and all of them got denied. Every single one of them. See, they knew exactly what they was doing, and we got word from one of the jurors who is going around doing interviews, and the jurors, he said, right, that they could not come up with a sentence for Carmelo. So the judge said, you know what, we'll just give him 35 years. Now the judge hasn't come out and spoken against this, but what I will say is this: the same judge that sentenced Carmelo to 35 years was being investigated by the state of Texas for writing a book about all of his cases. Some of them were still ongoing cases. Now, after the Carmelo trial, that same judge just announced that he is retiring and he's going to be writing a book about his life as a judge. AKA, he's going to be writing a book about Carmelo Anthony in the trial. Just another white person right along with Megyn Kelly and others who are weaponizing Austin Metcalf's death to make money.
Not sure exactly how that will play, but certainly should play better than the OJ trial played in Los Angeles for, a jury that was predominantly minority and had a grudge against the cops. Phil mentions the thing about provoking, Ashley. The thing is, Carmelo Anthony could argue that he was provoked potentially by Austin putting hands on him. Number one, Phil's right. The force you use after somebody lays hands on you cannot be disproportionate. Deadly force cannot be used just because somebody places hands on you, even if it's a push or a shove or like a try to.
So why did y'all let George Zimmerman walk away? Trayvon Martin didn't touch George Zimmerman at all. Why did y'all let him walk away? Make it make sense. Why was you okay with George Zimmerman walking away when Trayvon Martin literally didn't even come into physical contact with that man? He just started to run. He sensed danger, started to run, didn't get far, and he was gunned down cold-blooded. And y'all said it was perfectly fine because you stand your ground. And that was it. Y'all didn't even give us a reason of how stand your ground applied in this case. No weapons found on the boy, nothing. One shot to the head, as if that wasn't a clear execution in broad daylight. And I still remember Trayvon on that recorded line screaming, "Help, help, help." I don't think you hear his pow. One shot, no more helps. Y'all heard that same recording and didn't give a fuck. But y'all think that we supposed to give a fuck about Hunter Metcalf crying over his dead twin? Why the fuck would we give a fuck about that? We are desensitized to violence because of white people. And the violence that y'all perpetrate on a daily basis so y'all can stay in power in America.
Pushing you out of the tent, that's not going to work. But even let's say he's going to say, "I thought he had a weapon," or something like that. If you provoked him into laying those hands on you, you can't win on a self-defense.
He didn't provoke you. And that's it. And again, white people have to make up any lies to themselves. I can go to a police officer and say, "Touch me, find out what happened." That's not provoking anybody. That officer still has to have some type of discernment saying, is this a situation where I can use physical force? Austin Metcalf was a teenager with no rights to put his hands on anybody. Period. And that's why I'm not going to let this shit go for a long time. I'm actually going to do videos on every single fucking person that is talking about this case. I don't normally cover Megyn Kelly, but she's on the list now. She put herself on the list.
Defense.
Right. It's going to be a very difficult case for the defense. I think we have a little bit of a hint as to what they're going to argue in some of the statements. He hasn't made a lot of statements, but the defense lawyer did make a statement.
Ashley Merchant. Okay. You're on the list. Ashley. Officially, you're on the list.
That I've looked at a couple times. He said something about the state's not going to be able to disprove beyond a reasonable doubt that this was self-defense. So I think even he has recognized that this isn't what we would call a perfect self-defense. It's a very messy self-defense, but I think he's going to put it up anyway. And honestly, I don't think he has a lot of other options other than for him to, present this to the prosecution and plea for mercy, which is what he should have done because he murdered this kid. I mean, he definitely murdered this poor child who should be graduating high school and getting ready to go off to college, should be enjoying his last summer before college. And instead, his parents are mourning his loss. I mean, it is.
He made his own choices. He wanted to be a bully. Bullies die. The same way, let me put it in a language I know y'all white people understand. Gangbangers die. They make their own choices. Drug dealers die. They make their own choices, right? Robbers get shot by the police. They make their own choices. People who do breaking and entering, they die. They make their own choices. People who go against ICE and go against police officers, don't let them do their jobs. They die. They make their own choices. Now let's bring it back to Austin. Austin was a bully who was weak, physically, weak mentally, and weak spiritually. Austin Metcalf was weak because his father was weak. Austin Metcalf was weak because his mother was weak. She wasn't you, Megyn, right? She was a poor ass white woman sitting in the middle of nowhere. And white women like you and Ashley Merchant, y'all don't represent Austin Metcalf's father. Y'all represent the exact opposite. Before this, y'all probably was shitting on women that look like her, fat ass, unattractive, old white women. Let's keep it 100. This is only a story because the media, especially the white media, they love, not like, they love making money off dead bodies. They do it every single day. Literally. Somebody die, they are on a story. They're gonna do 10 other stories about the same shit for the next 2 fucking weeks. How long y'all think they're gonna be talking about this Carmelo Anthony case? Because I believe until the appeal is rejected, and it will be rejected. Let me go ahead and get this hope out y'all niggas' hearts already. The appeal is going to be rejected. Despite, Jeff Metcalf and his fucking racist rant, it's going to be rejected. Completely. They're not going to retrial because, we know now that Carmelo has a new lawyer. So shout out to Carmelo and the family. And shout out to Cardi B for donating, I think she donated $7 million. A lot of fucking money. They got a whole new lawyer, and they're not putting the lawyer name out right now. I think they got a white lawyer. I'm gonna put it out there right now. I don't think they hired another black person. And I think they're done with black people right now representing Carmelo. And I think they should investigate that lawyer that was representing Carmelo. He needs to be under investigation immediately. Not doing certain stuff like not showing Hunter Metcalf testimony to Will Kane, or not bringing Hunter Metcalf up to cross-examine him with what he said the day after his brother died. That's just basic lawyer shit. Then not telling the family that you had a scamming case that you was convicted of before. I don't know if that's Carmelo's dad's fault or if it's his fault as a lawyer by not telling them that. I don't know who to blame. Let's keep going.
Murder. And I don't think a jury is going to cut him any sympathy. The fact that he walked up to this tent where, you got to think about the situation. It's a track meet where there's lots of different tents. Everybody is there under their own school's tent. We look at it through a race lens.
No, it's not. Everybody is not just hanging out with their own people. People hang out with people of other schools all the time. Nice try, white girl. You know how many times I was at a school and we was playing some suburban school and the white girls would come into our tent? Stop it. It happen all the time.
But these are events where you don't really go up to, your opponent and go and hang out with them. Yeah, you don't do that.
Yes, you do, because more than likely y'all in the same city. Y'all know each other. And these are not your opponents. This is just a simple a basketball game or a football game. This is not fucking war. You think that the top athletes in a city don't know each other? Never heard of each other? Again, one thing about these people, they would rationalize anything just to see Carmelo in jail. That's it.
That you don't go
No,
the other
you say get out.
that's not racial.
Try going to a Giants game and sitting on the wrong side. This happens at every sporting event.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. It's like you're going.
We're not talking about adults. We're not talking about adults at a Giants game where there's liquor being sold, where people can smoke cigarettes. We're not talking about that. Again, you're being disingenuous.
Going in the locker room of your opponent and being like, hey, let's hang out. What do you expect? And so, if this guy laid hands on him, laying hands on him does not mean that this kid was in.
I'm done with you, bitch. The fact that you dismiss assault. Oh, yeah. He laid hands on him. So what you mad about then? If you don't give a fuck about somebody being physically assaulted, then what you're mad about? Austin deserved to die because of what people like you are saying. I'm done with this video. It's women like y'all that are the reason why his legacy is about to be about racism. Nobody's going to remember what he did as a football player. They barely do now. Y'all not highlighting his career as a football player, and I know why. Because the last 2 years that they had were fucking awful years. They didn't even win 10 games. You can't be around, oh yeah, I'm the best player. I'm averaging 45 points a fucking game, but your team only won 2 games this year. LaMelo Ball. Bronny James. That's who he was. He was literally an awful football player that y'all just hyped up for. I literally don't know why. A losing record, never made it to the playoffs, not one McDonald's game, not one championship, nothing to speak towards success. And then y'all saying that he had scholarships. I need proof of that, because based on the performances and the record alone, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And maybe he was going to a D2 school somewhere like Wayne State University. You know, again, Division II. He definitely not D1 athlete. That's a fact. He wasn't Division I. He wasn't about to play in the fucking Big Ten. He wasn't about to play at fucking Alabama for Nick Saban. He wasn't about to be he wasn't a star. We didn't lose Kobe Bryant. We didn't lose Michael Jordan. We didn't lose motherfucking LeBron James. We lost Austin Metcalf, somebody who was fucking irrelevant. He wasn't even Charlie Kirk. He wasn't on his way to doing shit. That's all I gotta say. I'll be doing more Megyn Kelly videos. Every time she speak on Carmelo, I'm gonna do a video speaking about her. With that being said, peace.